Hey, how you doing today? We back with New Sparkle Tech 4. I'm going to show you the number 4 as we use for culture. Culture is our inheritance. It leads us back to the timeline of who we are on the planet Earth. Anybody called humans, some Anunnaki, Elohuum, or angelic children of the light, indigo children, things of that nature. But I came here personally to make matters clear. With that is a sense of clarity or clairvoyance, something that can be seen from a distance that is called time, but at the same time, something that is seen being firm, which is called matter or firm. And this thing that's being firm is to teach that which should be taught by those who lied and those who accepted the lie. Those who accepted the lie thought that through education they would be able to perform and be accepted. Those who taught education thought about a system of programming, a system of ruling, and a system of being on top. And when we say on top, we're saying a system of law that they use for their own advantage to hurt others. So if you have one that is educating, first you must know what education is. Education is edit conversation. It's words that is said. Words is vibration. Words is vibration that's transmitted from the throat to the ear. And this transmission is accepted and by the brain, and a picture of what is said or what is felt from the tone of the language, from uh, the volume of the language. Words is called. And in these words is taught to those how to respond. So in the conversation of education, edit conversation that's taught in the years of the formative years of the age 1 through 4. And from 1 to 4, the teaching of these people were taught wrong. They accepted it because by law, there, when we talk about law, we're talking about those who are in control have taken certain things and made it the norm. So when we talk about the law, they break it down so you can see it now. And I'll give it to you this way as church and state. Nobody talks about what is true church and what is state. But what happened was you had the church, which was considered to be the masjid or called the temple. Prior to that, monastery. So these particular institutions of what is learnt, as it is learnt, it is called religion. Meaning to bring back, legion, a army. So it's legion, army. The subject matter in this history of studying religion, the subject was the spiritual part. Now the spiritual part has to be in one to be activated by another. So they can study and teach religion all day, but it's not going to activate you to the spiritual realm. So in the church, as it was before, you had high priests and high priestess, as they want to call it, because they separated the man from the woman, as is called, or they separated the life, which is called yaya. They separated yaya, man and woman, ya. So they separated the life, and in separation you have division. So you have two words, die and vision. Okay, so the vision is killed by separation. And separation of a priest and a priestess, they were able to get on board and take control in the church by stating that a man's job was to teach and that a woman's job was to be submissive and she was not to be heard. Then let's deal with one small part of the church and its origin. And origin is the same word as virgin. Virgin means untouched. So when we talk about the state was the fact that the people didn't want those who were inspired by that which was not seen, that they now call invisible, but the true word should be called invisible. They didn't want those things, the connection to that which created this existence. They didn't want no contact with them. They wanted to be told what to do by those who they felt was alluring to them or beautiful to them, or uh, what we would say against nature. They wanted to go an unnatural route. They wanted to be excited. They wanted to be happy. They didn't want to be calm. They didn't want to sit with love. They wanted to kill. They wanted to do things and be selfish. So these things were brought on by the state of man's existence, instead of the origin of man's existence. When we say man, we're not speaking of man in gender. We're speaking of man from the word men, which means from. So we think we're speaking of that which was created and given life, or the breath of life, as you can understand it now. So when we talk about church, the origin, and from that origin, you have what we call holy host, those who were in charge of those who were on the planet. And they chose people to prove it. This word prove it was called prophet. Prior to that, it was called a nabi. Prior to that, it was called a nativ. And those who were in the group form was called Nazareth. Those who were teaching those who were created in their form was called Elohuum or Elo, Anunnaki or Anarchy, angelic realms or angels, children of the light. Those were the descendants of these people. Now, what is going on now that we have the state, which is that which is made manifest without the connection of the origin or the Holy Host. Those who believe in science, the Big Bang Theory, or evolution, and all these other theologies. Theos mean those who the study of God. Theo means God. Ology means the study of. So what we have now. I came here in the year 1981. Took my time to be number one. Electromagnetic wave, 10 cubed square, thinking universal facts no one would fear. The order of my magnitude can never be figured. I came here with the truth that should be delivered. So the things that I say with an infinite flow to manifest the truth and let the love light grow. There are many ways that we can make change to that which is and that which has been accepted. And it's called purification. It's called a word called muklasina. The word muklasina is that which purifies themselves by eliminating that which is not necessary. It's like shedding off things that is not necessary for the greater of the people. The programming of the Board of Education in the United States of America was programmed from the point of view of those who wanted to see change. They're called the framers of the Constitution. This is a fact. Now, that was their point of view from a condition or what we call a view of the state that had nothing to do with the true origin of what we now call the church. This is why in the writings, the church and the state was separated. Now, today, with technology, from the word take knock or to knock is the same thing as the 5 books of Moses. So the conception that was taught by the founding fathers of this Constitution did not perceive or have any inkling of the true church because they had a book that was translated, transformed, diluted, that was called the King James Version of the true scriptures. Now, the scriptures itself was written in a language that was not supposed to be changed. Because through the changing of language, you have the changing of meaning, the changing of tone, the changing of volume, and the changing of what we call vibrations. Now, these